Hi guys, it's Sherry. So today we are going to be making a pendant using this gorgeous amethyst. I mean, look how stunning that gemstone is. Absolutely gorgeous. I am in love with this stone. So I really wanted to make a special pendant with this. So the first thing that you are going to need is your Primo clay. I'm using black and silver so you guys can see exactly what I am doing, but you can use any color because it will be painted. I have this rolled out to my thickest setting, and the first thing I will do is kind of just cut along and see a general idea of what I am going to be doing here. So nothing is kind of like permanent right now. I need to build up underneath here because here you can see that it's uneven. So before I do anything, I am just going to add clay to the bottom of this and try to get this fairly even if possible. So I'm just building up underneath it. There we go. And then I will lay that on my slab here. And then I am going to get closer now. And then I am going to take my clay and lift it up. So I'm just pulling my clay up because this has a nice part of it that is, it's more like just regular stone. It's not the gemstones. So I want to cover that up. Nothing will be pretty at first. I just want to get it started. So now I'm gonna just move that clay right to the bottom of those amethysts because I want all of that stone to show. Now, my next thing that I need to decide is, do I want this to lay down like this, or do I want it to kind of curve up like that? And I'm thinking I want it to curve. So I am going to add a little bit more of my black clay to give it that curved look like this one has. So just kind of build up from that area and start putting it into like a triangle shape almost. And then you're just going to smooth your clay out. I'm going to take my blending tool and just kind of push that clay down because I don't want it covering up my stone. Okay. So before I do anything else, I want to put my jump rings in of how I want to hang it. Oops, that's not the right tool. So I'm going to close my jump ring. And close my next one up. And I have plenty here that I can set that right into. This side I don't, so I'm gonna have to add a little bit of clay to that. The part that closes, or the opening of the jump ring, is gonna go inside your clay. And then I'm just gonna seal it shut by rubbing it. Okay, so now I got to add a little bit of clay to this because this is not going to go in because there's rock that's stuck there. So I'm just going to add a little bit extra on there. And I'm going to do the same thing I did on the other side and smooth it all out. Okay. Now I'm going to put my black to the side because I want you to be able to see exactly what I'm doing. So I will be using silver clay. So right now I'm just going to make a noodle. And then I'm going to roll it out. And I'm going to get my edge cutter here. And I want to do it this way. First, let me cut a straight line. I'm going to get my edge cutter. And do the same thing on this side. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to edge my whole piece off here. I'm going to go right up to I'm just going to very carefully follow this. Oh, I might actually have enough with just one. And then I will cut that off right there and then blend them together. I'm just gonna make sure it's pressed up in there. And that just gives me a little bit fancier edge than just a straight noodle or a regular noodle. All right. I almost feel like I could go smaller. Let's go smaller with these. I almost feel like these are a little too big. So we're going to cut these right in half. I'm going to do half that size. I want these to be really small. So I am just going to take up my clay and roll it into a ball. And then I am going to pinch and squeeze until I get a tiny raindrop. Okay. All right, so the first thing I want to do is actually, before I put my flowers on, I am going to get a noodle here. And I want to put some vines on here. Oops. So we are just going to decorate. And I'm just going to make some swirls. And I love doing this because there's no set way of doing it. You just basically put these swirls any direction that you want them to go in. So that's the real fun part about it, is there's no, you know, way of actually saying this is how you need to do it. It's whatever you feel like doing. So I really feel like just going with a bunch of swirls today. So I'm going to cross over. Let me just put a couple flowers on. I'm going to put one right here to start out. And then I'm just going to take a little ball and put that right in the middle. And that's what we have so far. So very pretty. And do a couple more of these petals. And these ones I'm actually going to do, actually, you know what? I want to do a couple different kinds here. Let me get my scrap here. And just cut that off. Let's do actually want to push this middle down. And then I want to get smaller ones. We'll put a couple leaves on. And to do the leaves, we'll just put a line in the middle and then make lines on the side to make our leaves. Where do I want you? Right there is good. And I think I'm going to do a smaller flower right in the middle there. So I just take these, cut these in half because I really want this one to be a tiny, tiny one. And that's what we have so far. Very feminine and delicate looking. So now we'll work on the top here because I want to make sure it's all decorated. I'm going to put that flower right in the middle. Come on, move over. There we go, right there. Push down the middle. And then I like to kind of scuff up the middle there a bit. So I want to make sure this is separated so you can really see the petals. They're not connected. And then we'll just take these and make these into leaves. And that's what we have on the top. Okay, so I want to make something just in the middle here, just to kind of make it a little special. So I'm thinking like maybe a little stamp symbol. Let me see what I have. Thinking maybe these flowers would look really nice. Let's stamp that. Okay, so let me get, just press. And then there. Look how beautiful. This gives it a little extra. Let's see if we could get this on the side there. There we go. So very, very pretty. I'm thinking we should put something there, but I'm not sure what. Maybe we'll just do one. Let's see. Oops. Fix that little petal. Let's see here. Maybe I'll just do a little tiny vine up there. That's what I think I will do. Okay, so just check your flowers and your leaves, make sure everything looks good. See, you can see I moved that a bit. This silver clay is a little softer than my black, so I'm moving it and it's getting mushed. Okay, I'm going to place this in the oven at 275. I'm going to bake it for a full hour because this is pretty thick. And then we'll come back and finish this piece up. All right, guys, so my piece is out of the oven, and look how beautiful that looks so far. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. I really love this amethyst. So what we do next is we are going to paint it. I'm going to use my Shine and Silver and my Weapon Bronze. I want to give this a nice two-tone color. This paint dries really fast, and that's why I really prefer to use this when I'm working on my gem jewelry. So I am just going to really just go right over this entire piece with my silver to start out. And when you're getting right up to these areas here by the gemstones, go slow, because you don't want to spend all that time trying to clean your stone. If it's a regular flat stone, I say get as messy as you want. But when you have like a rough stone like this, it is going to be harder to clean up. So I am a little bit more cautious when I have rough stones. Make sure you get in between all those noodles. We are going to use a little bit of black as well to shadow this piece up. I like to give my pieces like a little shadow look, antique look. However, I'm not sure what the proper word for it is, but me, I call it shadowing. This paint really gives it like a nice silver, like a real silver look. I really like this Shine and Silver. It's very pretty. Okay, I'll give that a couple minutes to dry because it does not take long. I'm going to get my black. Oops. So I'm going to do a second coat really fast. All right, so our next step is to put a little bit of black on here. And I just want to do more of a, let me shake this up, more of a dry brush just to kind of give it that shadow look. So you do not need a lot of paint, just very, very little. And then I have a stiff brush here, and I'm just going to take this, and I want to really take most of that paint off. There we go. And then I am just going to put this in certain areas, and I'm going to go over this again with my silver because I don't want all of this to be like with the black paint. I just want certain areas, so I'm going to be messy about it and just shadow it where I want it to be shadowed and then go over it with the silver again. And I like to do the shadowing in between all of these little noodles here. So I don't know if you can see that, how it like is a little darker in those areas. I'm going to do a little bit around the flowers. I just spend most of my time here going right around my pieces here. So anything that I have, like a flower, a noodle, that's where I'm going to shadow it. It's too much. Here, I'm not going to worry too much about, only, and you can see my paint's already off of here. I want to put gold on the back of this. So once your shadowing is done, get your brush, and now we are going to do, I have a smaller brush, and we're going to do more of a detailed here. So now we're going to go over these noodles that we got the black on. And any part that has black on that you do not want black, go over that now. Don't worry too much about the flowers because the flowers are going to be gold. But I want all my vines to be silver. And if you feel you put too much black somewhere, you could just add a tiny bit of silver, do the dry thing again, and just go over it with the silver. So here I put a lot of my black. So I'm just going to go over it slightly with my silver. Kind of gives it that little tarnished look, I guess you could say. Just gives it more of a natural metal look. So I hope you guys can really see that. So I'm going to rinse off my brush here. And then I'm going to start working on my flowers with my bronze. And I'm going to do my leaves bronze as well. I love doing the different types of metal work. So if I could do the double or the triple look, I really try to stick with that because I like it a lot. So I like the bronze, gold, and silver all together. And then I'm going to put a silver dot right in the middle of my flower. If you need any touch-ups, do it right away because I find that a lot of times if you save it for last, you are going to forget about it and then you are going to miss it. So try to do your touch-ups right away if you can. Very happy with that. All right, so now my next step is to do the back. And I want to take my finger and I'm just going to take off as much as I can here. And I want to make sure this stays standing up. And then I am just going to go over it very lightly. This way we can really see that stamp that we impressed on there, or that stamp we pressed on. And look how beautiful that looks. So we're gonna let that completely dry before we do anything else. I did notice that I got a little bit of gold on one of my vines, so I'm going to clean that up right away. Or bronze, I should say. I got bronze right here. So I want to kind of clean up any messes that I just made. This area I want just a tad bit more of the bronze, so I'm going to use my brush to do that. Sometimes there's little areas that are hard to reach with your finger, so just use your brush. And I want to clean this up right here. There we go. Okay. So I'll let that completely dry, and then when it's done, we'll come back and finish this up completely. So it's been about, I say 10 minutes. So my piece is really nice and dry now. And what I am going to do before I glaze this is I am going to put my chain on. So what I like to do, and this is the easiest way that I have found to do necklaces when I don't want to start from scratch, is I will take a chain that I already have that I bought, and then I will find the middle section. And to find the middle section, you are actually lining up the 2 jump rings at the end. And then you just kind of pull it, get your finger right at the middle section there. And then you're just going to cut it right in the middle. And I'm going to take 2 tiny jump rings. These are all put together, so let me get these ones apart. There we go. And then just take your jump ring and put it right onto the link. And then you just place that onto your jump ring that's on your necklace. Hold on, let me get a better grip of this. There we go. And then you just close it. And it is really that simple, guys. I mean, if you are not one that likes to make chain from start, this is the easiest and best way. You know everything is going to be even and put together well. And there is our necklace. How gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful and very simple to do. So my last step is going to be to put my glaze on. And I like to use the Sculpey Gloss Glaze. So I'll just get my tile. There we go. Get my glaze on there. And then I will just brush this on. And the reason I put the necklace on first, or the chain, I should say. The reason I put the chain on first is because I like to do the entire piece and then hang it. So make sure, now I don't have anything on my stone. Make sure you do not have any paint on there. If you do, clean that up before you glaze. This way you don't have any of the debris going into your glaze. And Sculpey glaze it dries fairly quick, so you won't have to worry about waiting forever. And as soon as this glaze dries, you're ready to wear your piece. And that's it. Now I'll hang this up, let it dry, and then our piece will be ready to wear. And here it is, guys. Look how stunning this came out. Absolutely beautiful. I love all the little detail on here with the flowers being a different color in the leaves. That sets it off really nice. And then the top where you will personally see has this beautiful work as well. I really hope you guys enjoyed creating this piece with me. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.